Hey everybody, how you doing? This is your boy Stone Thug, and what we're going to be attempting today is to discuss a fallacy in society, and that fallacy or the erroneous information that's in the minds of a lot of individuals, groups, countries, citizens, non-citizens, bad guys, good guys, police, military, personnel, spy organizations, from not just this country but around the world, and individuals who just happen to be walking around with this kind of false thinking that if you are armed to the teeth, then you are a safe, sound, and protected individual. The reason why I feel compelled to put together this little talk was I was watching a TV show recently, and I saw, like so many other shows, where armed people went in to attack somebody else, and it really doesn't matter who they. It's not anything unique about the event, because it happens so often, all the time, on an individual basis, on a country basis, various countries, and throughout the annals of time in history. It has always been the case. And what is the case? The case is your guns cannot protect you. Your guns alone does not make you safe. You can't rely or trust in guns alone. Now, for sure, in all the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies I've seen, and old school Humphrey Bogart movies, and every other movie where you're fighting zombies, a gun is your best friend. But outside of a zombie apocalypse, having a gun can be a fun and interesting sport, or just a cozy, comforting idea, like a good friend. Some people look at their guns that way. I myself was a gun lover. I love guns. I love what guns can do, different kinds of guns. I watch YouTube videos of people using high-power military guns, from helicopters and Tommy guns from the 20s, and high-power guns, being shot from up in the air. The guns that they have on the Russian helicopters, the guns that they have on the American mounted guns they use to shoot. I like the new laser guns that we have. I used to love when they used to shoot the lasers on Star Trek, the TV series. So if you're a guy in America and you were brought up on John Wayne and apple pie, or Clint Eastwood or whatever, you're hard pressed not to love guns on some level. What they can do when they're not being used to hurt real people. And a lot of people use games and use guns with the new video games and whatnot. They love to, shoot whoever. And so we have a fixation in this world, particularly this side of the world, in particular this country, fetish for guns, all kinds of guns. I once wanted to buy a gold-plated gun. I was fixated by the movie The Man with the Golden Gun when I was a kid, and I love the fact that the bad guy, the assassin, the sniper, I don't know if he was a sniper, but he was a sharpshooter. He had a golden gun. I loved the way he used to put it together really quick, and it was made from a cigarette lighter and a pen or something. Some of you guys, movie buffs, know what I'm talking about. It was I just never got over that. I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And the guy used to have only one shot with his golden gun. But he was so accurate with the gun. He was such a master at shooting the gun. Christopher Lee, the old vampire man, who I think is still alive. It's astonishing. I think he has the world record for the most movies, somewhere around 300 movies. I grew up watching him in vampire movies. But anyway, Christopher Lee was the man with the golden gun, and he had to shoot, I believe it was Roger Moore at the time, or was it Sean Connery? I don't know. One of the older Bonds. And that was just a magnificent movie for me. And I only say that so you could see that I am a true gun lover. I mean, one of my best westerns I grew up with was watching with Shane, movie, epic, classic gun lovers movie, Shane. And also Glenn Ford in The Fastest Gun Alive. Now that's going way back. That's old school. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you younger people, if you haven't seen it, you might look it up. The Fastest Gun Alive. If you love guns, if you don't love guns, if you can't relate to people who love guns, you might watch one of those movies, and you will get a different take, because those were some great old westerns, especially Shane and The Fastest Gun Alive, The Magnificent Seven. Those movies will make you become a gun lover if you're not. And when I say gun lover, I'm not really talking about the excessive, crazy gun fanatics that we have today. Don't confuse one with the other, because we're talking about two different animals. These people are different. They have a mutual liking for guns, but they're different people. You have to believe that John Wayne would not have been for all of the free, anybody, anything goes as far as people having access to guns. He just wouldn't. Matter of fact, throughout history, even in the historical sense of the word, and then even from the movie sense of being careful with guns, you have to remember that one of the greatest events that happened in gun history, the shootout at the OK Corral, was based off of guns and people limiting access with people with guns. It was an event that took place because certain people wanted to take their guns anywhere, like certain people are today. And the good guys who won at the shootout at the OK Corral, basically, they were the ones who believed in a certain amount of gun restriction. They actually had a sign set up where you could not have guns in this part of town or have guns in the city. And the guys at the OK Corral, the shootout, was based off of that. Now, that's a fact. That's not just a great movie, but that's a historical fact that they limit the access, they limit the availability to guns. Now, gun lovers would say, oh, well, people were nicer back then. People didn't think like they do now. Well, you need a gun no matter when you're eating a hamburger, or you need a gun when you're drinking tea. You need a gun when you're driving a cab. You need a gun. Well, you may need a gun for all those reasons. Maybe you're a bad guy and people are out to get you. But I don't know how you can say those people were different when they actually pulled their guns out and they had a shootout at the OK Corral. That was a definition of bad times. If you tell somebody that they can't have a gun or access to the gun in the city, and they want to so bad that they feel you're limiting their access, that they shoot you or want to shoot you because of that, then that kind of defeats your argument, because that's showing that even then there were certain people who felt that their guns were like part of their body. They weren't going to give it up. I remember one of my favorite John Wayne movies. Now maybe I might be a little confused as to the name, because one was Rio Bravo and one was Rio Bravo and I can't think of the other. It sounds something like that. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. But let's just call this one the Rio Bravo, and this was the one with Dean Martin and John Wayne and the singer Ricky Nelson. And in that movie, that Western, that actually, in that particular one, John Wayne had set up restrictions for people coming into town having guns. And you couldn't have a gun in the city or something of that nature. And I can't remember all the particular details, but, it's a historical fact. And it's a movie fact, a movie's lover's fact, that gun restriction and limited access to guns is not a bad thing. You need a gun. You never know when you need a gun. That would be their argument, and I can't disagree with them about that. But having guns just everywhere, people getting guns anyway, I think there's so much mental illness in the world. And people every day are shooting themselves 10 a day or whatever, using guns and shooting other people and having accidental shootings. I think that one life is too many. But when you think of the thousands of guns that kill people by accident, boyfriends showing their guns to the girls and get shot, kids shooting their instructors, people dropping guns and shooting them, people shooting themselves on elevators, the countless YouTube videos of gun instructors shooting themselves. I think one is too many. But when you think of the thousands and thousands, it's enough to make a gun lover cringe to think that, hey, you know what? Maybe something ought to be done. Maybe we don't agree with the people who want to shut everything down. But I definitely don't think we should be led by industry leaders who are promoting gun sales out of fear. I think that there's a direct correlation, a direct line of people who profit from guns, who want to promote guns. And I think that the citizens are caught in the middle, and gun lovers are caught up in the propaganda, and they should really check themselves that they're not being manipulated by the people who say they're on their side. So again, getting back to the main point to finish up this video, so it doesn't be too long, is that a gun won't save you. A gun can't save you. The Lord Jesus Christ can save you. God can save you. But a gun can't save you. A gun can help you if you're out in the wilderness and a bear try to attack you, I suppose. Or if you're walking down a dark alley and some bum wants to rob you. Or if you're into dirty business and you treat people bad all the time at your job and you shortchange people and you don't treat them right. And you're a miserable person, a terrible neighbor, and a bad friend. And you screw over people as often as you can. Well, in your case, you may need 2 guns all the time. But for most people, regular people, everyday people, they have to remember that a gun can be a fun and wonderful thing, and it's nothing more wonderful to see a gun being handled properly or skillfully. Reminds me of Sammy Davis Jr., the late singer that sung with the Rat Packs. He was a gun enthusiast, a marksman, and an expert with a gun. I remember seeing him in Rifleman. And Sammy Davis Jr. got taken out by the Rifleman. Of course, he did it on his own because he was faster and better shot than the Rifleman. But he loved the Rifleman's son. So, I guess, he loved him so much he let him shoot him. I don't know. But anyway, get back to the point at large. A gun can't save you. God can save you. Jesus can save you. There's saving to be gotten, but it's not through the barrel of a gun. It can help you in a fix, in a pinch. It's a nice thing to have when you need it. And you might say, well, you need it all the time because you never know. But that's not really true. And when you look at the amount of people who have been hurt by accident or otherwise with guns, the thousands of children killed, mates of loved ones shot down, the sick people who shoot themselves or shoot others, one must ask, what can be done and what can we do? And I say, let's do the easy stuff, the simple stuff. Let's just restrict guns from crazy people. Now, crazy is not a good term to use, but sick people, we know they're out there. We might even know some. You wouldn't want them having a gun, would you? They might be short-tempered than you are, and that wouldn't be good. Because if you got a gun and they have a gun, then it's not a matter of having a gun, is it? It's not a matter of having the convenience of a gun. It's a matter of who shoots first. The fastest shot wins. And that would make us go back to the Wild Wild West days, which we're not far from. Because everybody had a gun back in Jesse James's day, didn't they? Many people who were rival gang members to Al Capone, they all had guns. It didn't help them very much. So a good guy, a bad guy with a gun, it really doesn't matter. If you got a gun and I shoot first, you're a gunner. And that's how guns work. And guns, like bombs, can help you. United States have atomic bombs. Israel has atomic bombs. Pakistan and India have atomic bombs. France have atomic bombs. Russia has atomic bombs. And other countries have atomic bombs. There's over 225 countries. And a good deal of those countries, over half, or well, near half, may have atomic bombs on some level. Now, some we know about, some we don't. And those that we don't know about, those are the ones we should worry about. Because that's called mutual deterrent. When they have something and you have something of that magnitude, it makes everybody be a good boy. And that goes back to the simple thing. A gun, a bomb, can't help you. It can't save you. A gun can't save you. But wisdom and knowledge and some restraint with some restrictions can possibly give you a shot at a bright future. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope you listened. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you liked it enough to share it with someone. Thanks again.